Hey, you're watching Driver 88, and over the last year we have driven many super SUVs like the $400,000 Range Rover SV, like the Bentayga, the Aston 707 and the RSQ8 Performance, which has the record on the Nürburgring. And then I've realized somehow we have not yet driven on the channel the very first Urus, which also somehow is now 7 or 8 years old. Amazing. And it got me thinking, over that 7 or 8 years, I don't think that the model has really improved or changed that much. So maybe it's worth buying the original used car today rather than stumping up for a brand new one. Let's find out. First though, we've got to find an Urus. So the first Urus in blue Astrius. Astrius, I think, is the name. Really, really nice color that suits the first Urus. I cannot believe that this design and aesthetic is now 8.5+ years old. How do you think it's aged? I think that it's aged quite well. This sort of hexagonal, sharp, angled design still looks quite good. And over the years, of course, we've had the Urus S, the Performante, the SE, and for most people, I don't think they could tell the difference between this and those models that easily. So the 4-litre twin-turbo V8 is quite familiar because, of course, it's shared with a number of other cars in the Volkswagen Auto group. This one, 641 horsepower and 850 newton meters. They were huge numbers for 2017. And the claimed figure of 3.6 seconds can often be beaten in the right conditions. I've seen as low as 3.2 seconds 0 to 100. The quarter mile equally can be a bit mixed depending on if you can get these huge tires to hook up or not. 11.4 I've seen all the way to 11.9. Now those figures are quite impressive for 2017. If you look at today's new car, the SE Hybrid Urus, well, I'm kind of seeing very similar numbers. 3.5, 0 to 100, maybe 3.2, 11.3 at best with the quarter mile. So I'm thinking, if I'm going to spend all this extra money on a brand new car, surely with 148 extra horsepower and 100 newton meters more, the car that you're buying today in 2026 should be way faster than this, but it just isn't because it's got an extra 200+ kilos, and that makes a big difference. One of the big ways that the Volkswagen Auto Group umbrella of brands market their super SUVs is with Nürburgring lap times, like the Cayenne Turbo GT and the RSQ8 Performance, which has the current record. For some reason, Lamborghini has not provided any ring times officially for not a single one of its models, not even the Performante. But this, of course, is the everyday driver Lamborghini, so I guess it's not entirely needed, but I'm kind of interested as to what ring time this would get because it feels all the way fast as an RSQ8 Performance that we drove just a few weeks ago. So when this car was new, the sticker price here in Australia, $440,000 or so before options. On this one, besides the paint and other bits of tech, the extended leather I'm a big fan of. This one also came with a $14,000 Bang & Olufsen surround sound or 3D system, which also looks great aesthetically. If you want to buy a brand new SE today though, you're talking about $520,000+ before options here in my state of Victoria. And that's before you're probably going to add another $50,000 on top for a brand new hybrid SE. So this one is asking $359 with our friends at Cavallo. And if you're after any other super SUVs, they have a whole range of them in the link below. Now, if you're looking at a used Lamborghini Urus, I can imagine maintenance and servicing is going to be one of the most important things you look at because this is a big car with big performance and big weight. These are the largest rotors I've ever seen. They're 440mm carbon ceramic, of course, with huge pads. Now, on a previous video we did recently, someone replaced the rears, just the rear rotors and pads for $4,500 USD. The front ones, maybe $10,000 to $12,000 USD to replace as well. So that's something that's probably going to be one of the major things you're thinking about replacing on a used Urus and how much wear and tear they've had on them. Now, we're going to cross to our favorite mechanic, Ray, and talk about other things you should think about concerning maintenance with a used Lamborghini Urus.
So the Lamborghini Urus has got a strong motor and highly reliable, except some minor issues, like misfiring. Other than that, they do have problem with the cooling system. So if you do change the coolant, flush the cooling system, so you're not gonna have much dramas, but you may eventually require the overall of the cooling system, like changing the water pump, thermostat. Other than that, this car is very strong and reliable. I hardly see any oil leaks on these motors either. So get a service done every 10 to 15,000 K. It's never ever have any problems. Such a reliable motor, highly recommended. That's a nice car, yeah.
Now I can say that I approve the rear seats. I've got a bit of a long body, and even with this sloped roof, my head's not touching it. And it is just comfy enough in here. I really love this leather. I can't stop mentioning it. But I think I've yapped on enough. I want to take this thing for a drive and listen to that twin turbo V8. So in getting into the Urus, I can't help but compare this directly to the RSQ8 Performance that we drove recently, as well as the Cayenne Turbo GT. So in getting in the car, and these extended leather brown seats are really nice. They do really change the feeling of the inside of this car. When we start it up, there's just this little extra bit of sound, and I just missed the cold start, but extra bit of sound and emotion in starting up the car. And I think you kind of have to, given that we have a Lamborghini badge. It does sound a little bit louder, a little bit more lively than the later Cayenne and RSQ8 Performance, but so it should, because it's a Lambo. If there's one reason why people spend money on these super SUVs, it's because of their dual nature. And that is that you can, of course, drive this as a daily driver with an ample amount of space and an ample amount of view, but you can turn everything up to Corsa mode and then have sound and the instant performance from this car. And I think even in the most aggressive modes in the RSQ8 Performance, it still doesn't feel as aggressive as this Corsa mode. It's fantastic. Like, there's so much torque on tap. Of course, 850 Newton meters from a very low RPM. And that is really satisfying when you want to just turn things up, and you can put everything into the softest modes and then cruise in traffic. And that is really the biggest appeal of an Urus. It's taken me a little while to get my seating position and get used to the dimensions of this car. But now that I'm set, I feel a lot more comfortable and confident in driving this thing. I can see why so many people like these cars. In terms of the steering feel, I think I would prefer the Turbo GT. They've really tried to inject some character into this car, which is shared across a number of platforms, from the engine and the chassis, etc. There's a lot of those cracks and burbles, which sometimes I like, and some days I just don't want to hear them. It's all up to personal preference. The huge brakes up front do feel really good, even though we're sitting at 2.2 tons. Now, you might have seen on the internet this guy up against a whole bunch of new large EV SUVs, which are doing now 10-second quarter miles and beating this out. But you'll also notice a lot of the comments on those videos, people say I'd still take the Urus. And I can understand why, because I am not on the quarter mile strip every day. If I'm spending all this money on a car, I want to enjoy a number of things about it. The way it turns in, the way that it sounds, the way that the gears make this driving experience all the better. And that is just one of those things that, like a Tesla Model X Performance and some of these other uber Chinese SUVs that are very fast, they're just lacking that character. It's kind of predictable that I'm going to say that, but it's the truth. Having all that power on top is fantastic. I think Sport is just a nice mode to have it in driving day to day though, but really, really good amount of performance on tap. Also, I've noticed that the turning circle is quite decent for such a large car. I really thought a couple of times I wasn't able to get out of an area, and it did really well. Now, 7 years old, can you believe it? 7 or 8 years old, the original Urus is. Are you mad to buy one? I don't think you are, and particularly for a number of reasons. One of them is that the most recent Lamborghini Urus, I don't think steps the game up enough. It's certainly an improvement with its hybrid system, but I think you're not losing out too much at all, aesthetically or performance-wise, looks-wise, etc. Getting one that is the original. Me personally, I've still got a soft spot for the Cayenne Turbo GT because I am a Porsche wanker. That's just the way it is. But this car is so much better than I thought it would be.